Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to dismantle the modern illusion of the endless hustle and, honestly, explore a radical ancient philosophy. It's one that promises to shift our entire focus away from this constant, exhausting striving and toward true contentment.
Okay, let's just dive right into this simple, everyday word, enough. It's kind of funny. It's a word that almost nobody in the English language uses seriously anymore. I mean, we throw this word around casually all the time, right? Usually when we're frustrated or just totally exhausted. We say things like, oh, I've had enough of this, or, all right, that's enough for today. But there is a much, much deeper sense to this word. It's the profound realization that this life, this very moment, is genuinely enough. It's not just some stepping stone or a rough draft for later. And you know what? Ancient philosophers from Greece to China to India, they actually believed that meaning this word honestly is the absolute rarest and most valuable human trait you can have.
Part 1. The Trap of More. The system designed to prevent enough.
So to understand why actually experiencing enough is so incredibly difficult, we first have to recognize that we live inside a system literally designed to prevent it. I mean, think about it. Every single advertisement begins with the exact same premise. You lack something, and well, we have it. Every algorithm on your phone is perfectly calibrated to show you someone doing, having, or being more than you. We are completely surrounded by metrics, your followers, your net worth, your daily productivity score, even the obsessive tracking of your daily step count. Our minds are just marinating in this hamster wheel logic that dictates more is always better, which inherently means you're always behind. Now, the ancients saw this trop incredibly clearly, not because they didn't have competition or status games back in their day, but because they dared to ask a very specific question that our modern system absolutely never asks. Enough for what? Which brings us to part 2, needs versus endless desires, Epicurus in the garden. To really answer that question, let's take a trip to ancient Greece. There was this philosopher, Epicurus, and he didn't build an empire or chase a relentless career. Instead, he built a garden, literally just a garden, to gather his friends, eat simple food, and think carefully. And he elegantly split human desires into 2 camps. First, you have your natural and necessary desires, like food, shelter, and friendship. These are finite, right? When you're hungry and you eat a meal, the hunger stops. But then there are unnecessary desires. That's the endless appetite for more, better, and different. And these are infinite. They are completely impossible to satisfy because every time you satisfy one, it just breeds an entirely new wanting. It's wild. So the crucial takeaway here is when Epicurus made this incredibly simple statement, I have everything I need. He wasn't claiming he had everything he wanted or that he had achieved all his wildest dreams. No, he claimed he had everything he needed. And by his own definition, that made him the richest person alive, simply because he needed the least.
Moving on to part 3. The internal orientation. Wealth as a state of mind.
Let's jump over to ancient China to see how this idea of enoughness is actually an internal condition, not an external one. Lao Tzu famously said, "He who knows he has enough is rich." Now, the absolutely crucial word in that radical little sentence is the knowing. You see, having enough food and shelter isn't the problem for most people in the developed world today. The real problem is the total inability to feel it in your bones, to truly experience that what is right here, right now, is genuinely sufficient. And then we have Marcus Aurelius. I mean, think about this for a second. It is absolutely staggering that the emperor of Rome, a man who literally commanded the most powerful empire on earth and could have absolutely anything he desired with a snap of his fingers, wrote this in his private journal. Very little is needed to make a happy life. He fundamentally recognized that the external world is never, ever going to reliably provide what the internal world just has to learn to generate.
Part 4. The practice of contentment. Seeing what is here.
Here's the thing about enoughness. It isn't something that just magically happens to you. It's a daily active choice to see what is here rather than obsessing over what is missing. The Japanese actually have a profound concept for putting this into practice. It's called Kansha. Now, this isn't gratitude as some trendy, temporary 5-minute morning routine before your real day begins. It is an ongoing way of seeing the present moment as an absolute gift simply because it's happening. Like, a Japanese tea master practices Kansha by realizing that this specific bowl, this exact tea, this person sitting across from them, and this precise quality of light shining through the window, it will never, ever happen again. It's about letting that reality land fully before the moment is gone forever.
On the flip side, if we look at why we struggle so much with contentment, the Buddhist tradition offers probably the most precise diagnosis out there. They call it tanha.
It's usually translated as craving or thirst. Basically, it's that constant, restless reaching for something that just is not here.
And this dynamic, it creates the ultimate trap. On one hand, we are constantly reaching out for what we don't have. And on the other hand, we are simultaneously pushing away or just completely ignoring what actually is here. And caught right in the middle between those two opposing movements, the actual, real present moment just slips through completely unnoticed, it goes unlived, and it's lost forever.
Part 5. A different kind of ambition, changing the direction of drive.
Now, we definitely have to address the ultimate modern fear here, the big question. If you practice contentment, do you just lose your drive? Do you lose your edge? I want to be super clear about this. The philosophy of enoughness is not for people who have just given up. Not at all. Actually, this philosophy is for people who have seen straight through that endless, exhausting game of more and have actively decided to play a much, much deeper game. It's like this. Your ambition hasn't vanished at all. It has simply changed direction. The old ambition, that was all about outward accumulation. It was a literal race to increase the quantity of a life. But the new ambition is an inward experience. It's fully focused on going deeper. It's shifting from this blind race towards some future destination into fully inhabiting the road you're on right now and deeply valuing the quality of a single solitary moment.
Part 6. Finding your enough, the present moment.
As we wrap up this explainer today, let's try to translate all these ancient philosophies into a direct, tangible practice for your actual life. Right now, I want you to try this with me. First, just sit quietly for one moment. Look at your life exactly as it is. Not the improved future version, not the version you are frantically working toward. Your actual, imperfect, completely unmeasured life. Try to find just one ordinary pleasure, or maybe one relationship you've been entirely too busy to fully notice lately, and just stay with it for one single breath. And as you take that breath, just ask yourself, is there anything here that is already enough? Really ask yourself that, without any pressure to come up with the correct answer. Because realizing that this right here is already enough, that is the ultimate transformation these ancient philosophers were pointing us toward all along. It's really not about getting more. It's about finally seeing what is already right in front of you. So what actually happens when you finally stop running from your life and start truly living it?